What's the edgiest thing you've ever done to make yourself look cool but that actually made you look stupid? When I was deep in my emo phase, I got the webbing of my hands pierced and then cried when my dad had to remove them with his tools 2 weeks later. Then both my hands were so infected I could barely move my thumbs. I used to be sunglasses indoors and at night guy. Okay, Corey. I was a mall goth in high school, and when I wasn't dressed head to toe in Hot Topic gear, I would wear bizarre mismatched outfits, carried an Invaders in lunchbox as a purse, wore cat ears to school, oh my god, and pants underskirts. God, this is so relatable that it hurts. I really liked pants underskirts though. I had few skirts that were too short for school dress code that I used to wear over my jeans. I also wore mismatched Chuck Converse sneakers. One black, one orange. The orange was duct taped together at the toe. People used to tell me daily that my shoes didn't match. Tried to jump a fence and I ended up clearing it, but something like my shoe or shoelace got caught and I ate crap in front of all my friends. When I was maybe around 16, I wanted to have a cool anime facial scar, so I deliberately cut myself down the bridge of my nose and between the eyes. Over the course of a week or so it bled, scabbed over, then disappeared without a scar. The art is to have a deep wound that is treated badly and heals badly. In case anyone read this, don't do it. You'll look more like a car crash survivor than like your favorite anime character, except it's a car crash survivor. I used to wear 2 rings in middle high school, both on my right middle finger. One ring had a skull with axes, and the other was some ancient rusted thing I found when I was a small child that had one dark green gem left in it. No one was impressed. Some ancient rusted thing I found when I was a small child that had one dark green gem left in it. That actually sounds really cool. I met a kid in a trench coat at a college party who told me his friends call him Nails because he doesn't screw around. Then he looked at me for a few seconds in silence and we both walked away. When I was around age 10, I thought it was the coolest thing ever to wear my bangs in front of my eyes like an anime character. Like, both eyes. I couldn't see and it wasn't cool. When I, 24, was younger, around 12-14, I was alone at home one day. I lit a candle at some point and started playing around with the melted wax. It was a white candle. I don't know how I got to doing that, but I started applying the melted wax to my face. I was using my hands and by the time it touched my face it wasn't unpleasantly warm anymore. I covered my whole face with thin layer of wax and I thought of the movie House of Wax and how tough creepy I must look. I took a selfie with my crappy camera. Was 10 years ago, and I figured I ought to share it with the world. So I uploaded it to this teen dating website I was visiting. It never got approved. Later it hit me how it looked and why it was not approved. I'm glad it didn't. Although at the time I was disappointed. I won't elaborate further, but the picture did not look creepy in the way I hoped. It took me a second to realize it looked like someone came on your face. I remember one lunch break in high school just sitting in the rain during some depressive phase and I'm pretty sure I thought it made me look brooding. But in actuality it was just really stupid because I got drenched halfway through the school day. I'm sorry, but I read depressive face as depressive fart and laughed a bit. For about 3 years, I wanted my hair to be spiky, like I saw in some cartoons or anime shows. Not in vertical spikes, but more like claws instead of bangs. At least that's what I thought of them, and that's what I thought looked cool. I had almost forgotten about this. Thanks Reddit. Thy past sins shall not be forgotten. Smearing black dark grey eyeshadow all over my eyelids when I was 13. Looked like a freaking idiot. I was also homeschooled at the time, lol. Probably creeped out the neighbor kids. I thought eyeliner was meant to cover the entire eyelid as a kid, and my mother let me go out like that. In elementary, I wanted to be a badass, so I convinced my mom I had to wear a full suit for grade 6 class pictures. Pulled up totally out of my element and deeply regretting it. I panicked and told everyone my mom forced me to do it. My teacher made me stand where he stood and sat with the rest of the kids. Very uncomfortable day, but totally brought on by my own need to be edgy and cool. My school had a uniform, but there was always one guy who dressed like he was going to a funeral on casual clothes day. Reading these comments makes me realize what a profoundly negative impact Naruto had on the budding social lives of so many innocent children. Great show to watch, terrible to use as a blueprint for being cool. Tried to spike my hair, didn't work out all that well, and instead of looking like a UGIMC I just looked like I had majorly sticky bedhead. My grandpa's deck has no pathetic cards, Kaba, but it does contain the unstoppable Exodia. Not super edgy, but I would always do stupid dares like run directly into a brick wall at full speed or jump off of a small cliff, 15-20 FT, or run and jump into a patch of thorns and poison ivy. Stupid stuff that no one else had the balls to do. There's always that one friend in a group. OMG, chilly, I went a variety of things. 1. Show more cleavage. 2. Emo stage, wear all black, even my lipstick and eyeshadow. 3. And I used to draw teardrops under my eyes, and come to find out, that was a gang sign. But I saw Ice Cube with it and that it was an awesome look, until people kept telling me that I look real dumb. Yeah, the teardrop is probably something you don't want to fake. I wore spastically printed Avril Lavigne Abbey Dawn pants, a skin-tight tee, furry vest, and black knockoff Uggs to school. I had also just messily chopped off my hair. I topped all this off with a garishly fake lip ring and a singular fishnet glove. I thought I was a punk rocker, a Lashina. I looked like a proper idiot. So I first glanced at this and thought I read Avril Lavigne Downton Abbey and was really curious as how one would combine the looks. Redhead here, streaked my hair black, resulted in being called Spalding by co-workers, was box dye, it lingered for a long while. Also a redhead, I tried semi-permanently streaking my hair blue and pink. The blue washed out immediately, the pink stayed for months. Pink and ginger, not a good mix. Currently 15 and trying to grow out my hair to be really long. I'll come back to this in a few years when I can cringe at this. This is an uncomfortable level of self-awareness. I definitely wore a homemade floor-length black cape to high school a few times. Also sprayed myself grey to look like a ghost on Spirit Day, because apparently I knew there was no chance I'd ever fit in and decided to embrace it. I can hear some pimple-faced teen shrieking, "Hey guys, cape guy painted himself." In 8th grade I saw the anime movie Akira and thought a satin jacket with the sleeves rolled up and a pair of snow gloves would make me look like a badass. Yep, many a young weeb fell for that trap. This was way before I developed a sense of fashion and my outfits were horrible on every aspect. I started dressing more in dark clothes and constantly dyeing my hair when I was around 12-13. One time I wore a black and white gothic Lolita skirt with an ugly plain black top to school. And don't forget the stupid hat I wore with the outfit. It had cat ears, enormous eyes, and whiskers on each side. This idiot look was completed with wonky thick eyeliner, which was my first time ever using eyeliner too, and it did not look good. Thank God I didn't continue down the gothic Lolita path. It's so expensive. Now I just go with regular emo, less expensive and way more comfortable. I would been friends with you. That hat sounds amazing. I used to wear a fedora and my t-shirts were all Rick and Morty themed. Luckily I found Reddit and what a neckbeard was, so I cut that out pretty quick. You sound like a guy I met at university once. Oh, so many in middle school. 1. Tried having bangs. My front hairs grow straight up and part strongly in the middle. I had to hairspray them into a shield to get them to stay. But sadly I had gym first period and immediately they would part in the middle and stick straight up the whole day. 2. Let my mom wax my eyebrows because everyone waxed their eyebrows. My mom loved skinny eyebrows back then and waxed mine into tiny lines that were separated from one another by 2 inches. I look sick in so many photos during middle school because my eyebrows were seemingly non-existent, lol. 3. Shaved one of my arms and hand in entirety. I have more than average hairy arms and hands. More hairy than my fiancés at the moment. I used to hate it, so I tried to shave one arm to see if it looked better. It was so prickly and I was so nervous a cute boy would bump into me and find out I shaved it. Let's just say I learned not to fight my natural hair growth the hard way. I was the kid that was really into paper clips. In 5th grade I would stretch one out and fit it around my teeth like a crappy retainer to make it look like I had braces. Then in 8th grade I stuffed them through my ears like makeshift gauges. I thought I was super edgy and cool, but in reality I was just a skinny dorky girl with paper clips in her ears. I used to wear silver eyeshadow around my eyes, top and bottom, with no other makeup. It took me 2 years to realize how strange I looked. Alien, but make it fashionable. Trying like an butthole to be a cool kid in high school. Didn't want to smoke, drink or do drugs. So I thought my thing would be pornography. I found some of my dad's Hustlers and Penthouse mags and brought a couple into school to show my friends. Word got out, a teacher confiscated them, and I did not end being cool. I got the reputation as a pervert. Luckily my dad never found out. The school did not notify my parents. Guess they thought the humiliation was punishment enough, and I was only at that school for another year before moving. You wouldn't have gotten a reputation as a pervert in my school. There's literally a kid who pulls down his pants in science class and just sits in the back of the room in his underwear. Freshman year of high school I dyed my hair pink, green and blue. I get stared at in public anyway, so I figured I may as well give folks something to stare at. It was truly cringeworthy, but I thought it was edgy. I was a stupid kid. Or, hey, that doesn't sound too bad. You were just trying to rebel against being treated badly. My friend pepper sprayed herself in the mouth to look cool. You're fine. OMG. In 6th grade I had a little BF. We were in band together and were at our end of year concert. I distinctly remember being told that after getting up to bow we'd go off stage because concert was over. I was always a nervous little thing, worried I'd do the wrong thing even after being told how to do it, so I was one of those kids who'd wait for other to move before doing anything. Having a boyfriend all of a sudden gave me confidence. So instead of my usual waiting for someone else to move first, I stuck my nose in the air and started to walk off stage while doing what I thought was a coy over the shoulder look towards him as I passed him. He wasn't even looking, so I obviously took offense to that and turned a little more to tell my friend, who sat next to me, only to see no one was following me and they were all motioning for me to go back. Apparently I misheard, or misremembered, because we weren't supposed to walk off stage. We were supposed to sit back down and wait for each row to stand and bow, and then wait for official dismissal. I scurried back and sat down, red in the face and embarrassed to high heck. Apparently though, my row was the only one who noticed I walked off. I mentioned to my parents how embarrassed I was for walking off, and they had no idea what I was talking about, nor did my teacher when I apologized the next day. I still think about it every now and then though. I feel you on the last sentence. The awkwardness PTSD is the worst. I have bangs that cover one of my eyes and had one red eye contact that I put my bangs over. I don't do that anymore, but I'm still too lazy to cut my hair. I really have to cut it since I've been assumed to be an emo girl for the last 3 years of my life, since I basically look like a girl in every way, and I'm getting tired of it, so if I cut my hair it's reduced the chances of me being assumed to be an e-girl. Anyone remember the emo trend of taking a black and white selfie and editing in a big X over the mouth? Well, I did that with a black Jim Beam label. I also had the headline "Hello, my name is Twilight C, and I'm an alcoholic" on my MySpace. I was 14. I dyed my hair what was meant to be a shocking blue, but it turned out kinda turquoise, and the semi-permanent dye never fully washed out, leaving me with hair that looked like it had mold for months. Not me, but a student I taught. He was 14. The kids were on a 10-minute bathroom stretch break. I taught them for a block of 2 hours straight, and a boy comes running into the classroom and says Ms. Hep 632, K is in the bathroom and he's bleeding all over. I ask what happened, and apparently K was showing the boys that he had pierced his own scrotum with a safety pin. They didn't believe it was a real safety pin, so he pulled it out, and apparently that's when the bleeding commenced. I cannot speak to the actual amount of blood, because I solicited the help of a male teacher to deal with K's nutsack. Bruh. I wore a purple Yuri Doki Doki wig and all black. Needless to say that didn't go too well. I just got laughed at. Parents thought I was dumb. LEXHLF. DEMON13HTESHUMRNITYPRENTSDIEDSINGLEYESTURNBLCKWHENMD. My teeth turned to dust from cringing too hard. In middle school, I thought I was cool and edgy because I read this one book series. So, whenever anyone would try to talk to me like a normal human being, I would look up and show them images of creepy versions of those characters and thought that they were scared and thought I was cool. How embarrassing. Teenager. We hear a loud noise, like a car backfiring, and someone says jokingly, "Was that a gunshot?" And then edgy Olmi decides to say, "Haunted and mysterious number." I know what a gunshot sounds like. You're from the home counties. The only place you've heard guns is in a royal gun salute at some medieval castle. After the first Matrix movie came out, I went out and purchased a $150 black trench coat and waited patiently for casual clothing day at school. Oh god, the cringe. When I was in 6th grade, I had black cargo pants that I could unzip the legs on and turn them into shorts. I would unzip one leg but not the other because it reminded me of Cloud Strife's outfit from all the FF Advent Children AMVs I watched on YouTube that had my favorite techno music. I'm going to go throw up now after typing this. Oh god, the flashbacks. In elementary school and start of middle school, my mom used to cut my hair with a Flubee. For those who don't know what that is, it's an attachment that you'll hook up to a vacuum keeper and it like sucks your hair into it while cutting it. It was actually terrible and I hated it. Between that or the bowl cut I had for a while, I have no idea which was worse. The 90s were a lawless land. I'll see if I can find a picture, lol. Trigger warning: when I was in middle school a lot of kids were cutting themselves. I thought it was cool but I didn't have enough guts to actually cut, so instead I used a safety pin and basically scratched myself. I got sent to the guidance counselor and they called my parents. There was also a fad of carving boys' initials into your skin. Now that I'm older I find this all so sad that self-hurt was a fad to us when in reality there are people who do this for different reasons. When I was in elementary school I would wear fake clip-in pink extension things and I thought I was so cool, but really they were cheap and you could tell, but it didn't matter too much. BC I was only like 10, but then I actually dyed pink streaks into my hair during my middle school emo phase. Can't say I've changed. Thought BC I'm planning my hair again so IDK maybe I look stupid but I feel pretty cool. Good for you, you gotta do what makes you happy. Exploring an abandoned building with NGF. I attempt a cool guy break a pane of glass with my elbow. End up cutting through all 3 layers of my clothing and deep into my flesh, resulting in ruined clothes, epic amounts of blood and a deep permanent scar. I used to do archery. Thought it would look cool to look away as I'll let go of my arrow after getting my aim right. Arrow completely missed the target. Bowstring got caught on my arm guard and the pain from that made me drop my bow, breaking one of my stabilizers as it hit the ground. The way it broke left the screw portion inside my riser and had to get it removed by a professional. Told people I wanted to be a vampire. Told people I had a girlfriend who died so they would stop saying nobody would ever want to be seen with me. Soon after I got my reputation as a compulsive edgy liar. Nice. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.